You guys ready?
We are ready. Let me know.
All right, let's kick this thing off.
Ba-dum.
In 3, 2.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Finance Agents Live. This is episode number 53.
53. I didn't even know. How long do we count?
Rhoda used to have all sorts of interesting jokes on the numbers, so I
You
figured,
told me to stop.
what are you going to come up with for 53? I don't know. If you're keeping track, you might be a little confused and say, last week was 51. This week's 53. What happened? Well, we did 52 2 weeks ago. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Today's show is the launch show for a new fun series we're going to do as long as it's interesting. We're going to try it out for a few weeks here, see what happens. If you like it, maybe we're going to do it until it sucks. I'm just kidding.
Or until we get good.
Or until we get better.
You never know.
It's called the Will It Fund series, and it's something we've talked about doing for a long time. This is going to be a special window into our lives, which is the stuff that we do when we're talking to clients, right? Every time we get on the phone with a client, what are we trying to do, Rhodes?
Sell money.
Right. But how do we do, what do we do in the conversation? What are we doing?
Pre-qualifying them.
We're pre-qualifying. We want to quickly pre-qualify people into a specific funding program, or to know if there's nothing we could do, then we just let them know, we give them some instructions for do these things and come back. But our job, we don't want to waste anybody's time. We want to quickly cut through the what are the chatter? I don't know. Cut through whatever and get to the heart of the matter and figure out what we can do.
Cut to the quick.
Cut something. Right there. All right, so today we're going to give you a real live example. We're going to be doing deal number 1 from the Will It Fund series. What we're going to do is kind of role play what a call would be like. These are real funding examples. We might, elaborate on, so not every detail is going to be 100% exact, but it's going to be a real funding scenario. We'll go through the examples like we would on a real call. The calls always end with, great, let me send out some sort of an application, and you'll get it back, and then we'll be able to get you a solid answer. And that's where we're going to cut off the funding example. At that point, you're going to get your chance to weigh in. Is it going to fund? Thumbs up. If it's not going to fund, thumbs down. If you have an idea on what funding program I might qualify for, you can go into the comments and put your comments down there. If there's other questions that you would have asked the person to know better whether or not we could actually help them, then you can put those in the comments below as well. And we're going to pile these up for about a week. And then next Wednesday, we're going to come back. We're going to be launching these every day. Today's number 1, the live show where we sort of go through it together. And then we're going to drop them off. We've recorded some. We're going to record more. Every day, you're going to have one coming out where you'll be able to log on, look at the example, and then next week, come back for the big reveal. Right, Rose?
Right. If you fund it or not. And you can also critique the sales process. That's the real critical thing, is walking through how you get people into a certain program. What questions do you ask? How do you pre-qualify them so you're not chasing the deals that don't fund?
Right. Vicious critiques. That's what we're looking for. Eviscerate us. Tell us what we did wrong. Tell us what we forgot to ask.
Eviscerate Tim, not me.
Yeah, we love it. In the comments, though, right? So that's it, right? So if you're on and watching this, we're going to go ahead and do the first funding example. Now, if you've seen one of our shows before, you know that there's about a 30-second lag between when we talk and when you type a comment in and when we see it. So as we're doing this, feel free to go ahead and throw in questions. What would you ask this client if you were on the phone with them? Because that way, when we get done with the examples, your questions will already be there, and we'll start throwing those in as well. But we're going to start off with, you never know. All right. Example number 1, break. All right. I don't know what it is. Okay. Hello, how you doing today?
Great, how are you?
I am doing great.
Great, we're both great.
All right, awesome. I've got your information here, and it looks like you're looking for funding for your business. Is now a good time for you to talk? Do you have time?
How'd you get my information?
It looks like you filled out a form on our partner's website. Fill in the blank. I'll say so. I don't know who we got it from, so.
Okay.
That person. Did you talk to them?
Yeah, I did. They're really great, too.
They are awesome. I love them. Okay, so tell you what, is now a good time for you to talk?
It's great.
Okay, sweet. All right. Let me ask some questions, and we'll see if this is something we can help you out with. So you're looking for funding for your business.
Yes.
What is your business?
I have an Italian pasticceria.
I love Rhoda has the best Italian accents. Can you say prosciutto real quick, just for fun?
Nope. But I do have my pasticceria.
You got an Italian bakery. All right, so tell me about your Italian bakery. How long have you been in business?
I started in 2014.
2014. Okay, so you've been in business for a while. How many years have you filed a business tax return?
I've filed since then, but I haven't filed 2017 yet.
You haven't filed 2017. Okay, so if you're keeping track right now is August of 2018. It's coming up on the deadline. Just got to file by October, so we're getting a little bit late in the year, but that's okay. We can still work with you. All right, so why don't you tell me about the last couple of years? What was your gross revenue and net profit for the last 2 years that you filed?
So I've been growing, doing pretty well. In 2015, I did about 250, 270 gross sales, but I filed a loss.
Filed a loss. Was it a big loss or a small loss?
What do you think is big? What do you think is small?
I mean, if you did 250,000, you had a 50,000 or 100,000 net loss, that's pretty sizable. If it was pretty close to zero, then that would be a small one.
$3,000.
Okay, all right, so fairly nominal.
Yeah.
So that was, when was that, 2015? 2016, what was your gross and net?
2016, I did 405,000, so we grew.
Oh, that's a lot of growth.
It's
That's
pretty
great.
good. And then I did a 19,000 net profit. And then this year grew another 115,000, and I think we're going to file a net profit of 24,000.
Okay, so 2017, which you haven't filed yet, was 100 and something more than, so you're in the 500 range and maybe 25 net.
$500,000. I want to get it closer to $1 million in the next couple years.
Okay, excellent. Well, good. Well, hopefully we can help you get there. What about owner salary? We can add that back into your net, which increases the amount of loan you can get. So what did you pay yourself in 2016?
Well, my spouse doesn't work, so I don't think you can add back my salary. I make like $50,000 a year, and I need that.
Okay, so when I say add back, it doesn't mean you don't pay yourself. We're just talking about doing the accounting. So you're making 50 grand off the bakery per year, right? Okay. About that. Okay, great. All right, so you've got decent business revenue. I see you're on a growth trajectory. That's great. What is, are you the sole owner of the business, or is your spouse an owner, or are there other partners?
Just me.
Just the two, just you. Just you alone. Okay. And what's your personal credit like?
Pretty good. It's about a 750.
750. Okay. All right. Have you had any issues, bankruptcy, foreclosure within the last 10 years?
No.
Okay. How about personal debt? Do you have personal credit cards that are maxed out, or are you pretty normal?
Pretty normal.
Pretty normal.
I make my payments and, live the American dream.
The American dream.
I love it.
Awesome. That's what we like. Okay, so how about assets? Do you happen to own the building that your business is in?
No.
Okay. Do you own any other real estate?
Nope.
Do you have any retirement assets or stock and bond savings portfolio?
Nope.
Okay, so we don't have any outside assets, but you do have good business revenue. There's no other source of income, and you're the sole earner for your family. Do you have a lot of dependents?
My wife or my husband, this is a,
Whatever. However you do it out there.
That was the borrower I was trying to play. Like
That's cool.
Me,
I got
my
it.
spouse and kid.
Spouse? Okay, all right. Well, good. So tell me exactly what you're looking for.
Well, I have some equipment finance that I want to pay off. I owe about $70,000 on that. I bought a new oven, and
How many years ago did you do that?
It wasn't years. It was months.
Okay, a couple months ago. A couple months ago you got some equipment and you want to refinance it.
Yeah, because it was just 3-year term. I want longer term.
You want a longer term. The payments are too big, basically, right? You want to get those payments down.
Yeah, they're $2,300 a month. It's a lot.
Okay, all right. So the equipment payments are high and you like to get that down. It's a little tricky to refinance equipment, by the way, especially if you just did it. Do you have any other types of financing? Do you have any other term financing? Did you get an SBA loan when you opened the patisserie? Or whatever.
That's French.
I was trying to say like whatever. Okay, your Italian bakery. What do you have any other financing?
Yeah, I have a cash advance from a cash advance.
You have a cash advance, one of those daily payment loans. How long ago did you get that?
A couple months ago.
All
About
right,
the
so-
same time I got the equipment finance. We're growing. Look at my revenue. It's really good.
Right. Okay. Okay. So $70,000 in equipment. How much is the cash advance?
I think I owe about 8,000 now.
8.
8.
8. All right.
7,
That's
8,
pretty
9,
small. Okay.
8.
So most of it is the equipment, and I'm guessing you'd like to just get your payments down and get more. Do you need more money, or you just want to consolidate debt?
No, I could use more money.
What do you need money for? Give me some specifics on what you might use it for.
Working capital.
Right.
Just some.
How about some specific, like what? What's that mean? That could mean anything.
Yeah, I want to, market. I want to hire someone to do Instagram for me. And I want maybe to add some tables to my restaurant. And I don't know, just maybe paint. It's getting a little dingy. Keep it fresh for the people.
Okay, so the extra income doesn't necessarily have a direct correlation to making more money quickly. It's sort of like a want list, but it's not critical for your business. The most important thing is trying to get your payments down. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just to summarize, we got a business you've been around for years. You're filing net profit on your tax returns. You're growing very quickly. You got some debt that you don't like that you'd like to refi. And do you have any, short term, like if I don't get something in a week or 2 weeks, something important that's coming up on a specific deadline, or do you have time for us to look for the best financing possible?
No real deadline, but, the payments are hard.
Okay, great. All right. Well, I think that's everything that we need for now. We'll go ahead and get an application out to you. And once you get that back to us, usually within 24 hours, we're able to give you a real good answer on what's available now and what we think we could do for you if we take a little bit of time. All right. Got any other questions for me before I let you go?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks for talking. Talk to you soon. All right, this is the point where we cut it. And now it's your chance to say, is it going to fund? Thumbs up. That ain't going to fund? Thumbs down. Or put some comments in the notes. I think that would get this. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly run through the different types of funding that we help people get. And if you have questions or comments.
Something happened.
Darren says you can't hear me. If you can hear, my mic is dead. Probably the battery's dead. Again.
Low
battery. You got other batteries for me? I'll be back. Okay, you, Phil.
So what we're going to do is we'll go through the funding programs. Do you think that funded for a term loan, traditional funding like an SBA? It could have funded for commercial real estate. Did we get them a cash advance, a business-directed retirement program, or
What else we got?
what else do we got? I think that's about it. Factoring. I think that's all the programs. Commercial real estate, fix and flip, BDRA, term loan, cash advance, or equipment finance. Credit card program, personal term loan. What do you think it funded for? If you think you know the answer, comment it in the box. If not, if you don't think it's going to fund, you can say no, why not? Or if you think it is fund, give us a thumbs up, and we will let you know on Wednesday the answer. Why did this blow up, or why did it fund? What were some of the problems? Anything like that we're going to go over on Wednesday, and we will.
I'm back.
Oh my God, I missed you. But I did a really good job.
You did an amazing job.
I know.
Okay, so if anybody has any questions, any follow-up questions they would have asked of the client, Darren, do we have any comments or anything? All right, pipe them in, buddy.
Yeah, we forgot to set up the comments thing.
All right, so Dan Rogers is saying that 7 to 9 questions into the call after asking about taxes and revenue losses. Is this your order of questions? Like,
Great question.
so we went through a lot of information, and is that typical for a call?
Yeah, 100%. When we ask questions, we have sort of an initial plan on the questions we're going to ask. The
5
order.
questions really that you should go over.
5 or 6 that we pretty much always ask, right? Do you have other assets? Does your business have revenue? Have you been filing tax returns? What's the profit, loss? What's your credit like? Is there any big things, timeline, deadline things we know about? That's off the top of my head. But when you're asking questions, you'll always follow the path of what they say. So if somebody says they filed a net profit, you want to ask how much. If the net profit was $1,000 versus $100,000, that has a big impact on whether or not I'm going to want them to apply for a term loan, or if I'm just going to look at cash advance rates because they're probably not going to qualify for term financing. So the answer is yes and no, right? These are the questions I would ask for this person. But if they said, I'm a startup, then I wouldn't, of course, ask about business tax returns, or maybe I'd start asking about personal tax returns or personal income.
Also keep in mind, though, that anything under 2 years is considered a startup. So are you a startup? And they say, no, I've been in business for a year and a half. For us, they're still a startup. So it's important to ask how many years of tax returns they filed.
Yeah, generally, if somebody's filed 2 years business tax returns, the first year is horrible. The first year is a major loss. They just opened the business, they're losing revenue, and it doesn't help them much. But as long as the second year is good, at least they have 2 years filed. Really, you want 3 years of tax returns. That's the best for term financing. But of course, there's a lot of other programs. Maybe everything she said could have been bad, but if then she said, I have $1 million property that I own free and clear, well, you got money. It's easy, So that's why you want to follow the paths. And there probably is some, if I was actually talking to the client and not trying to make the show not super long, there's probably some more questions I would have asked, because I like to dig into the revenue model and just really understand where the money's coming from. So I'm not trying to give away what happened, but recent debt is problematic, right? She just got the financing a couple months ago, now she's having trouble with it. It's kind of hard to go to somebody else and say, give me lower rates. But if she could qualify for term financing, you could just pay everything off with a long-term loan. That could cut her payments considerably. So if I were to ask additional questions, it would be digging in further and further to see if she would qualify for that. What else you got for me, Darren?
Okay, so Frank thinks that it's, let's see here.
Oh, people starting to weigh in on the vote
UPF
already?
Or UPF, but it can also qualify for equipment finance. So we will find out next Wednesday.
Okay, all right, so Frank's weighing in already. If you think it could fund or should fund, give a thumbs up. If you think that ain't funding, thumbs down. And we appreciate the comments and questions. If you have other questions that I should ask Rhoda, the owner of the Italian bakery, let me know. Otherwise, I guess we can go ahead and wrap it up. And then just keep your eyes out. Every day, we created a new playlist. If you go to the Finance Agents channel, heck, I don't know if I put it up on the big channel page, but I created a new playlist called the Will It Fund playlist. You're going to see 2 videos there right now. The one we're on and next week's weekly review. And then watch tomorrow morning, so Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday at least, we'll drop out some other ones with examples. Then we'll have a special guest each week on the weekly show that'll give their special flavor on
exciting.
The questions they would ask from the perspective of the program they run. So we'll be bringing in special guests who have an expertise in a specific type of funding, and then they'll give you their perspective and angle on whether or not it's going to work. And by the way, we're not only giving you examples that all funded. This isn't, let me show you a bunch of people that we funded. We'll show you ones that worked and ones that didn't work, because that is the life as a finance agent, is you're talking to people and you get yeses and nos. Some days you get all nos. Some days you get all yeses.
What day did you get all yeses?
Okay, I don't know. I'm still waiting for that day. The day I took one call and then went home. That's the day.
It's a grind sometimes.
All right, so that's it, I guess. No other comments or questions. Keep your eyes peeled for the Will It Fund series. Or subscribe. That's awesome. What else? Anything else? That's it. Have a good week. I'm just waiting for the show to be done.